What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be installing a short ram intake in my Camry today. It's a 2016 Toyota Camry, so it's a HPS short ram intake right here. Pretty much got everything all laid out on the floor. This is not a cold air intake. They don't even make a cold air intake for this car, so unless if you modified something, but they do not make a full bolt-on cold air intake for this car. So, but today I'm going to be installing the HPS short ram intake on mine. Comes with a K&N filter, comes with all the clamps and everything. This should be pretty easy to do. Not much work at all. Just gotta unbolt the original box in here, the piping back there, and then bolt on the new one. So let's get started. Alright, and also I know I've been making a lot of Corolla videos lately, but I've been getting lots of questions about my Camry, so I thought I'd start showing a little bit more about my Camry. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. If not, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel already. Alright, so coming down into the engine bay, we're gonna have to get rid of this air intake, and there's a 10mm bolt right here, right next to this box. Then there's also a 10mm bolt right there, and then that'll loosen the intake box up here. I believe there's also a clamp, or there's like a clip back there. Once you undo those, you can kind of pop it right out. And then we'll have to disconnect our mass airflow sensor, disconnect this tube right here, and then we got to jump back there. So let's first get this box out of here. All right, and then we're going to have to loosen up this clamp right here, so that way we can pull this whole box out. You can either use a 10mm or a Phillips. Don't need it too loose. Alright, got the whole air intake box out. Alright, now we got to take out this tube going to the throttle body. There's one clamp down here that we got to loosen up. Kind of hard to get to. Right back here. Alright, got this whole thing out. Might be a little easier if you don't have a strut bar too, but pretty much just loosen it up, give it a little wiggle. There's a lot of wiggle room on this. This thing's all rubber, so just keep wiggling it off and hopefully we'll get to it. Alright guys, so now that I got the intake, the original intake off the car, now it's time to put this short ram intake on. And I'm gonna say it's gonna be a lot easier to do most of the work out of the car first before you even go. Like this coupling needs to go onto the throttle body, and I would say let's pull it out or put it in just like how the old one came out, as pretty much one piece, so that we don't have to do pretty much any work in the car. Everything can be out of here. And so let's put the couplings on here. Let's put this onto the coupling. We can probably also just put the filter on the end here and then put it into the car. Oh, and something too, make sure, I mean, I don't think it really matters, but you probably want this sticking straight up, so, and put your clamps towards you, so that way it's easier to get to these screws, so that way you don't put it in the back and then can't even tighten them. Alright, so it's gonna go in the car kind of something, I don't know, at an angle like this. So try to make these nuts facing the same way as where the intake would be facing. I got this on with the coupling on the bottom here. Snug this one up pretty good. This one's still loose. So now that we got it kind of loose, now I'm going to put this on. Alright, just realized I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit here. I forgot that we got to put this bracket on first before we put the intake tube on. This is going to mount to a bolt on the transmission. I'm going to show you which one it is, and then it comes with other bolts wherever I put them. I'll have to find them. One will, like I said, one will use the transmission bolt that's already on the transmission, and then the other one you'll use one of these bolts here. So it'll top in the car. So we're looking for this bolt down here. It's just a transmission bracket, so it's a 12 millimeter. We're gonna loosen that, and then we're gonna throw this on there, and then it's gonna line up with the bolt right there. All right, so let's grab a 12 millimeter, crack that loose. Then we're gonna put this on. All right, and then this will show you where you gotta aim your intake at, and then you'll grab the bolt that comes with it. Grab a bolt and washer. Alright, now we gotta snug that 10 millimeter bolt back there that was on the intake, or on the throttle body. And also, when you're tightening that bolt back there, I definitely recommend having a pretty long extension, so that way it's easy to get all the way back to that bolt. Otherwise, you ain't got no room to twist the actual wrench. Now, next thing we gotta do is mount this mass airflow sensor bracket onto the side here. And then supply another screw for that. And it's gonna be a 10 millimeter. I recommend trying to start this by hand first. Okay, all snugged up. Now we gotta put our mass airflow sensor on. Alright, so something that you could have done, I should have done too before I put it back into the car. I put this in there and I forgot to swap out the mass airflow sensor. But we can still do it while it's in the car, so we're going to take it out of here. I think they're 6 millimeter bolts. So let's take this mass airflow sensor out of the original intake and then swap it over there. And they do, I'm pretty sure they give you new screws. Yeah, they give you Allen head screws for this. So let's take this out and then put it into the car. Alright, got the 2 screws taken out. And now this came out pretty easily. If it's stuck, you might want to give it like a little twist or something. There's an O-ring on here. So just kind of twist it a little bit and then it should pop out. Now, try not to touch anything in here. I know the thing is inside the plastic, but try not to touch anything on your mass airflow sensor. Then we'll bring it over here. Then it should just press right in. And now we'll get the 2 screws. We'll tighten it up and then plug it in. Alright, so let's try not to drop these. This is why I'd recommend you do it while you're out of the car so you don't drop these little screws. And these don't need to be super tight, just snug. Now let's click that in. And don't forget your, I don't know what kind of intake tubing this is. Press it on back. And now we gotta put the intake on, or the filter on. And this also came with a heat shield. I'm gonna try to put that on with this. All right, so here's the heat shield. I mean, it's not anything perfect, but it's gonna help keep some of the heat out from the engine. So kind of gonna wanna face it like, kind of like that on the filter. This wraps around the filter like so. And then you put your clamp around that. So let's try to get this on and get the clamp over it and slide it over. And then also make sure you put this clamp in an easy spot to get to. Alright you guys, so I got the intake fully installed in the car. It's looking good. And again, I got the red one. I don't know, the red one's kind of hard to find, so either they sell it in black or chrome. I know they sell it in a couple different colors. The red one is kind of hard to find, but because I believe when I ordered it, it said there was only one left in stock of the red one. So, but I'll be leaving links to the intake in the description below, because you can order it from Amazon if you wanted to. All right, so let's go take this thing for a ride and see how it sounds. So I know I don't think this is really going to add any horsepower. I believe they do say it adds 5 horsepower to this engine, and it's been dyno tested, or at least K&N's version of this has been dyno tested to give you about 5 more horsepower. And it's pretty much the same exact design, but the K&N one gives you a little bit better heat shield than this one. But the K&N is like $100 more than this, so that's why I ended up going with the HPS one. Let's go hop in the car and take it for a drive and see how it sounds. Alright guys, so I got in the car. Let's go for a test drive, see how this thing sounds. I'm gonna probably get a couple drive-bys real quick. Alright, so I'm gonna give it a good throttle right here. Let's see. Ooh, it sounds really nice. Very deep tone, a lot nicer than the stock. I don't know if it really gives it any power. It might give it a little bit of power, but not much. But it sounds really nice in the cabin. Alright, I'm gonna go get a couple drive-bys. Ooh, this sounds so good. Alright guys, so I just got a couple drive-bys. Hopefully they sound good. You'll be hearing them before I do. But now I'm gonna head home and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Alright, and I totally forgot to mention, I hope you guys had a good Christmas or holiday, whatever you guys celebrate. I sure did. Even though I live in Florida, it was like 85 degrees yesterday on Christmas, but it was a good day. Alright you guys, this is going to be a wrap for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video of me installing the intake on my Toyota Camry. If you guys are new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you guys are not new, don't forget to smash that like button. With all that being said, I'll see you guys next time.